Zappe Mania is running wild through New England right now, but will it soon be time to turn back to Mac? Well, Murph and I have the answer. Settle in. You're about to be locked in to the Locked On Patriots podcast.
You are Locked On Patriots, your daily New England Patriots podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello to all of you Foxborough faithful, and thank you once again for making Locked On Patriots a daily part of your New England Patriots coverage, and also your first listen every day. Remember, Locked On Patriots, free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. So download, subscribe, especially smash that subscribe button on YouTube, and consume us wherever you get your audio podcasts. I'm Mike Debate, your host of Locked On Patriots, a proud part of the Locked On Podcast Network. You can reach out to me, let me know what's on your mind on Twitter at MDABATENFL. While you're out there doing some wandering through that Twitterverse, you can definitely check out the Locked On Patriots account as well at LO_Patriots. Folks, today's episode of Locked On Patriots is presented by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. You pick 2 to 5 players, and if they score more or less than their Prize Picks projection, you can win up to 10 times your money on your entry. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with the promo code LOCKEDON. That's prizepicks.com, promo code LOCKEDON. Pats fans, for the second week in a row, we are proud to offer you a Victory Monday here on Locked On Patriots. But, victories are just not enough on Locked On Patriots. We got to raise the bar. We got to up the ante, and we got to make this a monster Monday, and that's exactly what we've done with the legendary Connor Murphy Fisto himself. That's right, folks. Hashtag Locked On Murph Monday, running more wild than Zappe Mania here in New England. My good friend Thomas Murphy of E2Gsports.com. Thank you for coming to me in friendship. Thank you for joining me today, Don Murph.
Always my pleasure, Michael. Always my pleasure, especially on a Victory Monday. 2 in a row. Who would have thunk it?
2 in a row. Who would have thunk it? Well, I'll tell you who would have thought it right there on that side of the screen. He thought it. For those of you listening, I am pointing to my good friend because he had a vision, folks. He was very much in tune to what the New England Patriots could possibly do against 2 teams with some shaky defense. But all that being aside, New England Patriots definitely impressive the last couple of weeks, and they were impressive from top to bottom yesterday, despite the absences of their incumbent starting quarterback, their feature lead running back, and arguably their most seasoned deep threat wide receiver. Patriots even their record on the season with a dominant 38-15 victory over the Cleveland Browns at FirstEnergy Stadium. And Murph, for the second straight week, the Pats' young core has blended nicely with their veteran leadership. They're returning to a level of respectability that I think a lot of fans in the region had abandoned a long time ago. They did not believe this team would be where they are right now. And folks, let's put things in perspective. They're a 3-3 team. They're a 500 football team. There's still a lot of very good teams out there yesterday. We saw 2 play in the afternoon cap, Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. There's a lot to go on right now. But when you look at this New England Patriots team, I've been most impressed by what we've seen out of the youngsters, the rookies. Murph, you have a tendency to see things us mere mortals don't see. What did you spot in the rookies yesterday that leads you to believe that this team is really onto something, not just for the rest of the season, but maybe even beyond?
I've got to start with Zappe, even though we're going to be talking about him later. He had a fantastic game. He had some accuracy issues early, but ended up 24 for 34 for 309 yards and two touchdowns. It was great to see Tyquan Thornton out there. He caught his first career touchdown, and then he ran another one in just to be part of the gang, just to get in there on this rushing attack. He finished with 4 for 37 yards, almost 40 yards, and then Jack and Marcus Jones were just doing the Joneses type things. They're leaving opposing quarterbacks jonesing for completions. That's what these guys are doing. And last but not least, my man Cole Strange. Did you hear his name at all yesterday? No. Didn't hear it once. And you know what that means for an offensive lineman? Success. All right. He went up against a very talented group of pass rushers and picked up every blitz, got to the second level when he needed to, sprung a Rhamondre for his largest gain of the year and of the day, not of the year. And it was just, these rookies are just impressing. In years past, we've seen a lot of redshirt years for these kids. This year, that wasn't a luxury that Bill Belichick had. Over the years, Bill has taken a lot of grief over his drafting ability. And the way that he goes about drafting and the way that he goes about using rookies. But you have to look back. These were all veteran-laden teams with talent at every position, especially on the defensive side of the ball. These kids had a really hard time getting in there, getting reps in practice, never mind in game time, because a lot of people took the lead that Tom Brady would always go forth with, is the fact that he never wanted to come off the field, whether it was a game or in practice, and that bled down to everybody else. So these kids didn't develop in the way that you might have seen other teams develop their rookies, because these were teams that were competing for, at the very least, AFC title games every single year for 20 years. And these kids became afterthoughts. These kids have not become afterthoughts. These kids are out there, they're competing. It started in minicamp and it's continued up to this point now. And you're seeing exactly what they're able to do. They are the next man up. They are able to come in there, plug holes and fill in for free agents that have left, or injuries or trades. They've done a fantastic job for a team that's this young. I don't know where the ceiling is right now, especially for the Joneses.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the Joneses, because we're going to get to them in just a moment. And I know you talked about Bailey, and we are going to talk about the quarterback situation today, folks. Please don't call it a controversy. Please, it's a situation, not a controversy.
Right.
Because when you call it a controversy, my friend right here, it insults his intelligence, and it makes him very angry, because he wants to know who's spreading these rumors. Is it Natalia or Bazine? But bottom line, my friend, when it comes to Cole Strange, and I know that you mentioned him. you never could have outfought Santino. But I didn't know to this day that it was Bazzini all along. Folks, we could go on and on for hours.
We could.
We're not going to
really
do that.
Could. No.
We're going to bring it back here to Cole Strange, because Strange right now, to me, is a guy that is flying under the radar in a lot of the national rookie, awareness out there right now. But here in New England, I'm so proud to see on a weekly basis so many of the fans getting behind him, supporting him, giving him his well-deserved accolades, because you know that in the back of Cole's mind, and having interviewed his college coach right here on the airwaves of Locked On Patriots, and he told me that, he's got a long memory, he's motivated by everything he sees. You know that there's a part of him that's thinking of Sean McVay laughing at that dais, and every single time Cole makes a block, takes a stand, does his job, you know that he's looking over, and very John Wayne-like from El Dorado. And, actually, I shouldn't say John Wayne-like, more like Robert Mitchum-like, going, let me hear you laugh. He's doing that, and he is, because that's exactly what a good offensive lineman will do. They're going to take that chip, they're going to make sure it resides on their shoulder, and they're going to use it every single week, and he has done that so well. Great love to Cole Strange. Absolutely, yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
How you feeling now, Sean McVay? How you feeling now?
Exactly. So you know what? Cole is letting his performance on the field do the talking. But you mentioned Tyquan Thornton, very impressive day yesterday.
Yeah.
I would kind of go short on saying it was a breakout, because believe it or not, I still think there's a lot more in his arsenal to show. But really drawing coverage from opposing defensive backs.
Yep.
He's using the vertical routes. That speed is phenomenal. He's actually stretching the field horizontally. Really good stuff. And then you also saw his prowess in being able to carry the ball on a jet sweep. And that's something
Yeah.
that, when
Go
you
ahead,
have that
Claire.
absolutely, when you have that dual threat capability, it really is remarkable. And Claire mentioned that on the show last week. A little tip to the cap there.
Yep.
That's great stuff. That is absolutely great stuff. And the Joneses you mentioned as well.
Oh,
And you
God.
can't say enough good things about Jack and the job that he's done coming in, not only spelling Jalen Mills early on, but yesterday having to spell Jonathan Jones, who may
Right.
be the most complete cornerback on this roster. Jack Jones filling, and he's taking a tremendous amount of reps. He's doing well in coverage and just showing that ball hawking capability. And how about Marcus yesterday? That really should have been an interception on the corner route
Yeah.
thrown from Brissett in the third quarter. But
Yep.
what he's done in the return game, all of a sudden, this rookie class that drew snickers from so many of the talking heads back in early May is making some waves. And there's a lot of humble pie being eaten across the
You wouldn't know
landscape, the
it.
media landscape. You wouldn't know it and you won't
No,
know it, but behind the scenes, they're going to have to because, quite simply, folks, it's just the way it is.
that is.
Murph, it is always fun diving into all of the good, all of the bad, and some of the ugly here on Locked On Patriots when it comes to Patriots performance. Not a whole lot of bad and ugly these last couple of weeks, folks, but Murph and I will delve into that box in just a moment and let you know what is on the fix list for the Patriots as they head into their Week 7 matchup with, sorry, Murph, I've got to, the Bears.
The
We
Bears.
will
It's okay.
definitely be tackling that subject here in just a moment when this episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast continues. And I know my good friend doesn't have to worry about this subject, but folks, if you're like me and a lot of men out there, if you're feeling like you just can't get into shape, it's not your fault. As men age, our body naturally loses free testosterone. That's otherwise known as the winner's hormone. Well, wouldn't it be nice to get that winner's edge again and that old swagger back in your step and get more energy to counter the negative physical effects of aging? Nugenix Total T Testosterone Booster with Testofen will help you turn back the clock, re-energize your workouts, get you better results at the gym, and help you look better and feel like the man you really want to be. While every product out there professes quality, many other products use generic ingredients that are often far less than clinical grade. With Nugenix Total T, you get the same clinical potency levels used in the trials. And Nugenix's formulation is backed by 10 years of science and research. Folks, Nugenix Total T can help re-energize your life. So now get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T when you text NFL to 231231. Text right now, and you can get a bottle of Nugenix Thermo. That's their most popular fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you get back into shape fast. And do it absolutely free. Text NFL to 231231. That's texting NFL 231231. Message and data rates apply. Terms apply. Available at nugenix.com/terms. Murph, it's always fun to break down the New England Patriots, and it's always fun to see the New England Patriots improving and getting healthier on the field in terms of a record. But all of us out there would love to get a little healthier in our lives. And today's episode is brought to you by the great folks over at Athletic Greens, who put out a fantastic product I literally use every day. Let's face it, folks, we all want more energy. The days are getting a little shorter, and we want to maximize our health to enjoy the upcoming fall and winter months. I started taking their AG1 for that reason, and I love it. One delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, and I'm already enjoying better gut health, more energy, greater focus, and you will too. So right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. You
That's
don't
it.
need a million different pills or supplements to look out for your health. And to make it even easier, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1 year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NFL network. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/NFL network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Pats fans, the legendary Thomas Murphy, the Green King of Sting, the Monster Master of Disaster, the Dancing Destroyer is here today, joining me to break down the Patriots' big win over the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. And Murph, as much as we were impressed by the rookies, and I don't want to just make it seem like it was the rookies, excuse me, a lot of veterans came up big yesterday. I thought Dietrich Wise had a phenomenal game. Matt Judon didn't log a sack, but boy, I'll tell you, he was right on that line of scrimmage, getting into the backfield, tackling for losses, setting the edge, doing a tremendous job. There's a lot to like with this Patriots team right now, but as always, there's always things to work on, and there's always room for improvement. When the Patriots walk into that drawing board, whenever they walk in for team meetings, either on Monday afternoon or on Tuesday, whenever Bill's going to have them preparing, what's going to be up on that board? What is Bill Belichick highlighting to this team that needs to get better?
Clean up the penalties right off the top. Clean it up, people. I mean, it's ridiculous. Free yards mean free points. The Patriots had 12 penalties yesterday for 92 yards. They gave up almost 100 yards, folks, on flags. That can't happen. That just can't happen. And it starts in, of all people, you have to point a finger at, once again, Isaiah Wynn. And surprisingly, Trent Brown did not have a very good day. That goes directly, to how the offense is clicking because they are leaning so heavy on the run game. And not to mention, Wynn gave up another sack. He got blown by again because his footwork is just trash right now. It's complete trash. I stood up and danced a jig when I saw Marcus Cannon coming into the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think everyone, including myself in Patriots Nation right now, is a little bit worried about that. You spent time along the offensive line. You know the mechanics, and you know very well the need for lateral movement and the importance of footwork. Is this a situation where Isaiah's just not locked in, or is this a situation where he's struggling to adapt to the right side as opposed to the left?
I think he's struggling to adapt, and also has a bit of a chip on his shoulder. The fact that left tackles, we've been saying this for all the way back to camp when he wasn't practicing at all, that he's upset over being moved back to the right side. But it was needed after the showing that he did last year. The fact that he is in a contract year, he got moved over to the right side, and he knows that that's costing him money. But his attitude and his lack of effort, and it is, folks, when your footwork is as poor as this, it's a lack of effort. All right, go out there and put the work in and get your lower half right. Okay, all of us that have been. All of us folks who are round and have squatted in the mud have gone through times like this where you have to go out there and work with your coaches and get your footwork corrected so this kind of thing doesn't happen. It wasn't a huge concern yesterday as told by the final score, but you're not going to be playing the Cleveland Browns every week.
Absolutely. No question about it. And look, bottom line, when you're a starting right tackle or starting left tackle, I know there's nuance differences between the two positions, would not pretend there isn't. But when you're a starting offensive lineman in the league, you need to bring your A game each and every week, especially when your choices are either protecting a rookie quarterback with only a couple of games under his belt as experience, or protecting someone that is going to be coming back from a serious injury that incidentally you kind of had a little bit of something to do with to begin with. So when you look at that, I think in a lot of ways there's got to be some finger pointing in the mirror this week. And look, and I'm not going to turn this into a dump session on Isaiah, because I've always admired the job that he's done here in New England. I think he's always brought a level of talent to the positions that he's played. And when he is healthy, at least right up until this year, you always thought that he was among the top talents in the league at what he did. But there's definitely something off this year. And I think you pinpointed it. And I think
it's not injury.
Yeah. And you hit the nail right on the head when it comes to it. So we'll see. We'll see what continues to happen.
I'll tell you folks right now, if Wynn doesn't have a stellar week of practice, Marcus Cannon is going to start on Sunday.
Yeah. And I think you saw Marcus coming in and the team settling down a little bit, and
Yep.
that protection gets all that much better. And you hear his teammates talk about Marcus and the level of experience he brings. A lot of reverence, a lot of respect there, but they also understand the talent level this guy can
Right.
still produce. And another under the radar signing that Bill Belichick has been able to pull off that really could pay dividends for this team going forward.
Right.
Obviously, the penalties definitely a big concern, Murph. Anything else on that board that you think the Patriots should be concerned about heading
You
into this Week 7 matchup with Chicago?
Again, the Pats were good on third down this week. I think they hit 50% for the first time. They held Cleveland to 4 of just 15, but Cleveland was 3 of 5 on fourth down and converting on fourth down. So that's something else that needs to get cleaned up, needs to get taken care of. If teams are going to keep doing this, if and you're seeing it more and more across the league going for it on fourth down, you're going to have to get to them and get them off the field. And that's really the only other nitpick that I have in this week's game. I mean, how can you really nitpick after a 38-15 drubbing? Although this was a really close game right up until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, bottom line, I know a lot of people were talking during the game. I got a couple of DMs and Twitter messages during and after the game about the Patriots' inability to contain Myles Garrett.
Yeah,
Folks, yeah, you can't put that. Myles Garrett's really
right.
good. He is a really good
Yeah.
football player. You want to talk about a guy that basically single-handedly kept them in that game all day yesterday, whether it be finding penetration, utilizing the seams, getting after the quarterback, helping out in run protection or run defense. This guy can do it all. So if you're getting beat by Myles Garrett, it's not a situation where your defense is not doing his job or its job, because
and I know it was
tough.
it was Garrett that beat Wynn on that, but I mean he gave Zappe no chance, none.
Right,
None.
exactly.
That's why.
No, you have to get some sort of a resistance.
Something, and there was nothing there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've had more resistance diving into a pool, all right, than Isaiah Wynn did on that play.
Yeah, absolutely. And then like I said, there's definitely got to be some finger pointing in the mirror when it comes to that. And that is something where you need to be able to at least give the effort. If the effort is there and you're still getting beat, well, then you're losing to your opponent, but you're not losing to fear or other stuff that's happening around you. So New England will continue to move forward.
Right.
There's no question, Murph, and they are looking forward to moving forward. And when it comes to their Week 7 matchup on Monday Night Football against the Chicago Bears. But who's going to be starting under center, Murph? That be the question. And it is the question on everybody's mind. We saved the best for last here on Locked On Patriots. Murph and I are going to give our thoughts on that subject in just a moment when this episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast continues. But first, folks, I want to tell you a little bit about our friends over at Prize Picks, because Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. Let me tell you how they work. You can pick 2 to 5 players, and if they score more or less than their Prize Picks projection, you can win up to 10 times your money on any entry. There's no competing against other people, so you don't have to compete against Murph or myself. It's just you versus the projections available. Prize Picks offers projections on any sport that you watch. This includes the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, Major League Baseball playoffs out there right now, PGA, college football, men's and women's college basketball, soccer, so much more. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. That's right, folks. It's that easy to play, and it's safe with fast withdrawals, and it's currently operational in over 30 states and in Canada. So download the PrizePicks app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up and play daily fantasy sports. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with the promo code Locked On. That means if you deposit $100, PrizePicks is going to give you $100. If you deposit $50, they'll give you $50. So don't forget to enter the promo code Locked On at sign up for an instant deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks.com. Patriots fans, once again, we are wrapping things up here with the legendary Connor Murphy Fisto himself, Thomas Murphy of E2Gsports.com. And Murph, we've talked a little bit about some of the other rookies on the Patriots roster. We've talked a little bit about some of the items that need to be fixed when it comes to the New England Patriots. However, We haven't talked about the subject that's on everybody's mind and everybody's mouth on Monday morning, and that is who will be taking snaps under center when the Patriots take the field for Week 7 against the Chicago Bears at Gillette Stadium. Murph, Bill Belichick talked to the press last night after the game. He spoke once again on the Greg Hill Morning Show. He was asked about this several times and essentially said there's nothing to see here. Mac simply wasn't medically available, so there's nothing to discuss. But there is going to come a day where Mac is going to be medically cleared to get out there on the field. We saw Bailey Zappe put forth a great performance yesterday, and I am no way going to lessen what Bailey was able to do on the field yesterday. Great pocket awareness.
Thanks, Don Struck.
Really, tremendous, presence when it comes to, operating under center and play action. 24 of 34, 309 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Right.
Obviously, a lot of fans are hanging their hat on that right now, but we all know that Mac Jones is still the number 15 overall pick, and there are still reasons why Mac struggled this year that don't include just him not being able or not willing to execute the Patriots offense. Don Murph, I go to you. In your expert professional opinion, my friend.
I cash checks for this.
Yes, you do. Absolutely. And one of them is in the mail already. Who do the Patriots go with here? Given health, whose team is this?
It's the return of the Mac. Plain and simple. Okay? Crank it up. Folks that are hanging your hat, go buy a new hat. Okay? Go out and buy a new hat. Okay? I'll send you one. And but no, this is Mac's team. All right? The rhetoric that you're hearing on sports talk radio, for one, is to get people to call in. And 2, hopefully that if these people, if for some ungodly reason, they're throwing it against the wall, and Bailey Zappe ends up being the starting quarterback Week 1 of 2023, they can all come up and say, look, Bill screwed up even a 15th pick in the first round. Okay? The guy that he chose has been traded to, I don't know, Houston for, a couple of third rounders, and his 4th round pick is outplaying the 1st round pick. So it plays into multiple narratives for these people that are on the airwaves between 2 and 6 in the afternoon. And it feeds their monster. It feeds the people that the same 6 callers that call into their shows every single day. And you take a look, people, it's the same 6 people that call in every single day and continue to drive their narrative. And this is Mac Jones's team. And when he's back under center, I believe, a lot of it comes down to the way he finished last year. And the first few games of this season, they were, going through a complete overhaul of this system. And Bailey Zappe has not been asked to do that. He has not been asked to go downfield and throw these 50-50 balls. Now, personally, if it was me, I would keep going with what's happening right now. Only with Mac Jones under center. We saw what this team was able to do when they're running the slants and they're running the hooks and things of that nature. Guys are getting open. How many tight windows has Bailey Zappe had to throw into? Not many, because these guys are getting now. These guys who couldn't get separation before because they were 20 yards downfield are getting separation. You've got guys like the Slim Reaper back on the field, dragging coverages and opening things up underneath. Just relax. This is Mac Jones's team, and it's going to be Mac Jones's team, I hope, for another decade.
Yeah, I would say you're more on the money than some of the opinions I've heard out there. And believe me, look, bottom line, folks, this is in no way, shape, or form a knock on the job that Bailey Zappe has done. This kid can play in the NFL.
Right.
And anybody telling you otherwise or saying that, he's doing it against lesser ranked competition, he's playing against NFL competition.
Right.
I've said this several times. You're an NFL football player. You make it out there on the field to compete against these guys is
That's
much,
it.
much tougher than the competition he was facing over at Western Kentucky. So for
Right.
this kid to do it on this stage, under the circumstances he's had, very impressive, and no one's
He
questioning that.
Right. He's smart. He reads a defense really well. He throws a great ball. These are all the things that he was drafted for. Okay, but he was drafted for these situations. When the number one quarterback went down, there was a reason that he was there in the fourth round. I can't remember how many quarterbacks were taken before him, but they all deserve to be taken before him. This is a kid from a small school with some skills, with a very high football IQ. I hate the fact that everybody on the planet has co-opted that phrase from me, but he has it, and whenever this type of situation comes around, I hope Bailey Zappe is there on the bench to strap on his helmet and get in there.
Absolutely, without any question. I mean, our good friend and business partner, Matt Chatham, had a very eloquent quote and a very eloquent tweet. Folks, I'm sure some of you have seen it. If not, check out Matt's Twitter feed. You'll see it. He called it a quarterback luxury as opposed to a quarterback controversy. And I think that's exactly what we have here. The Patriots right now have the wealth of having a first round pick, a number 15 overall pick, waiting in the wings, getting healthy. Someone who I think fans have turned on maybe a little bit too prematurely when you look at the rookie season that Mac had last year, and the way he was able to guide that team back to the playoffs is not an easy task. And Mac did it with poise, and he did it with a skill set that really fits the way that team last year played offense. Obviously, the Patriots were under a little bit of a different regime this year, a little bit of a different look. And I think because of that, Mac struggled a little bit on the early side. The play calling was not exactly where it needed to be. They hadn't found their niche yet. Maybe they were trying to be a little too over aggressive or push the sell a little bit too hard. You're seeing that different now. And I think if they can maintain this type of play calling, this type of efficiency with Mac Jones under center, if you think Bailey Zappe's been impressive to date, and he has, I think Mac Jones can really electrify this offense when it comes back as well. So if that doesn't happen, then you have a discussion on your hands, because then all of a sudden it's like, well, okay, Bailey ran this offense and he ran it relatively well. If Mac comes back and struggles, I'm talking long-term now. He's got to get an opportunity to get his legs back under him. But if there's long-term struggles, this is not like Mac comes back, throws one incompletion, and the fans are starting, we want Bailey. It's going to be a little bit different than that, folks. Have a little patience, but I do believe that Mac Jones will get the ball when the time is right and when he's ready. And if that means this weekend in Week 7, I should say this Monday night coming up, it's always so conditioned to the weekend, Murph, but this is a Monday night matchup at Gillette this week, then that's going to be when it will be. And it's until then, the chatter is going to continue for better or for worse, folks.
Right. And believe me, the media might not be patient enough. The fan base may not be patient enough. Bill Belichick is going to be patient enough. He knows. He's gone through this before. Okay. This is not a situation like it was with Tom Brady. And it's a completely different era. Mac is the future. Mac has the higher ceiling. Mac is, like Mike said, it's going to take some time to get his feet back underneath him, to trust that ankle. I think he's done a fantastic job to this point. But if he's healthy come Monday night, I do believe that he's going to be starting underneath center.
And I would agree with that. And I'm so glad that you mentioned Tom Brady, because we're hearing Tom's name invoked like crazy around here when it comes to the controversy or the non-troversy, however you want to describe it, when it comes to Bailey and Mac.
Right. Bailey Zappe is not 2002 Tom Brady.
And the switch to Tom Brady, what I don't think a lot of Patriots fans remember, is the switch to Tom Brady was in the works for quite some time, folks. This started during training camp, and even before that, when Bill Belichick, Charlie Weiss, and the late great Dick Rabine looked at the quarterback room, and they saw intangibles in Tom Brady that led them to believe that this guy is going to be the starter before the end of the season. Mo Lewis accelerated, I think, the inevitable there. So it's not a like-for-like comparison. Whatever Bill had done with Tom in the past, to me, is not a valid comparison. It just isn't, because Tom Brady is a different it's a different circumstance,
Right.
just a completely different circumstance. You're talking about a kid in Mac Jones that was brought here for one reason, and the one reason was because he was the best quarterback fit at the time for the Patriots to continue their type of offense, which is deliver the ball accurately, on time, short to intermediate yardage in the other field. Put the ball only where the receiver can get it and where he can get it, and then get some yards after the catch. Bailey did that very well yesterday. Look
Yeah.
at the Jonnu Smith reception. That
Yeah.
was a 17-yard pass that turned into a 53-yard pass with
Yep.
savvy yards after the catch. Bailey put it where he knew Jonnu could get yards, and Jonnu did a great job of doing that as well. You also have to look at Hunter Henry being able to do that and extend the play.
Yep.
A lot of things going well for the New England
This
Patriots, and
goes to
Zappe's
play
a big part
calling.
of it.
Okay, it really
Absolutely.
does. It goes to play calling and the way that they want to run the offense. And this is completely different than what Mac was asked to do in week 1, 2, and 3.
Absolutely, without any question, folks. And because of that, the New England Patriots are back to 500. And Murph, I thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me here today on Locked On Patriots, helping us set the record straight on the quarterback situation and also lend your wisdom and counsel on what went well and what didn't. Before I let you go for the week, my friend, please let everyone know where they can find you, what they can look forward to from the great pen, the great voice of the legendary Thomas Murphy.
Well, I've got a new piece coming out today over at e2gsports.com on the Guardians. I keep trying, folks. It's Indians is in my head. It is, so I stutter. On the Guardians and the Yankees matchup tonight, of course, One Patriots Place is back tomorrow with Classy Claire Cooper, myself, and of course Steve Balistreri. And our special guest is Michael Hurley. He's going to be on. That's always a great show when Mike can stop by. And other than that, I'll be back here next Monday if you have me.
Absolutely, folks. And there is no other place we'd like to be on Mondays than joining Thomas Murphy here on the microphone at Locked On Patriots for hashtag Locked On Murph Monday. Still the only guest with his very own branded hashtag. And folks, I thank you for putting up with me, who continues to fight the cold that just won't quit for the past 2 weeks. My voice has been a bit choppy. There have been some memory fog going on, but you guys are the best. And I really appreciate you hanging in there with me, if for no other reason and to hear the wisdom and counsel of this great man and some of the great guests that we have on here on Locked On Patriots. Folks, thank you for making Locked On Patriots a daily part of your New England Patriots coverage and also your first listen every day. And now that you've made us your first listen, go over and check out my good friends over at Peacock and Williamson, giving you all of the NFL's most pressing stories. And they do it in less than 30 minutes. Folks, go over, check out Peacock and Williamson, free and available on all platforms. And of course, while you're at it, download, subscribe to, follow Locked On Patriots wherever you get your podcasts. Folks, smash that subscribe button to YouTube. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers, and I appreciate each and every one of you. On behalf of Don Murph, the illustrious Thomas Murphy, I'm Mike Debate. Please continue, folks. Stay safe, stay well, be the change you wish to see in the world. Have a great day, everyone.
Mark Morrison, Return of the Mac. Go play it.